Question 20. You're loading goods of varying weights. How should they be distributed over the width of the vehicle? B. Heavy items near the center line, light items towards the sides. To achieve maximum stability, the load should be placed to keep the center of gravity as low as possible. To do this, heavy items should be placed close to the center line and spread over the full length of the vehicle. Lighter items should be placed along the sides. Question 21. What could be the result of overloading an axle while loading a lorry? A. Damage to the road surface. Overloading an axle has an impact on the environment, causing damage to road surfaces. You also risk a fine and driving penalties. Question 22. Which load may need to be transported at a controlled temperature? C. Chemicals. Some highly dangerous chemicals have to be transported at prescribed temperatures. Drivers must be fully trained in the use of these specially designed temperature-controlled vehicles. Question 23. What would staff from HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC, be looking for at a roadside check? C. Red diesel. HMRC can check the type of fuel you're using and the type and legality of your load. Red diesel is dyed gas oil with a lower tax than regular diesel. It can only be used in agricultural and construction vehicles, such as tractors. Red diesel mustn't be used in freight transport. Question 24. You're uncoupling a trailer. What must you do before disconnecting any of the air lines? A. Apply the trailer parking brake. Whenever you uncouple a trailer, you must work through the uncoupling process methodically. Start by making sure that the brakes are applied on both the vehicle and the trailer. Question 25. What can happen to drivers who break EU tachograph regulations? D. They can be heavily fined. The driver must take responsibility and follow the driver's hours and tachograph rules. Failure to do so can result in legal action and penalties such as a fine. Question 26. What must you do when using a vehicle fitted with an analog tachograph? A. Carry enough approved charts. Make sure you carry enough approved tachograph charts for your journey. Store your spare charts in a plastic wallet to keep them clean and undamaged. Question 27. Under EU rules, your minimum daily rest is 11 hours. On 3 days of the week this may be reduced to what length of time? D. 9 hours. Under EU rules, you must have a minimum daily rest of 11 consecutive hours. A reduced daily rest period is any period of rest of at least 9 hours, but less than 11 hours. Question 28. You're approaching a bridge that has no height restriction on it. What's the minimum height under the bridge? D. 5 meters 16 feet 6 inches. The headroom under bridges in the UK is at least 5 meters 16 feet 6 inches, unless otherwise stated. Where the overhead clearance is arched, this headroom is normally only between the limits marked. Question 29. You arrive at an incident involving a motorcyclist. The motorcyclist is unconscious and bleeding. What should be your priority? A. Check the casualty's airway. At a traffic incident, the danger of further collisions and fire needs to be dealt with first. Then you should deal with injuries in this order: airway, breathing, compressions, and bleeding. Don't remove a motorcyclist's helmet unless it's essential to do so. Question 30. You've stopped at the scene of an incident where there are casualties. What should you do to help? D. Keep injured people warm and comfortable. If you stop to give help at an incident and there are casualties, don't move injured people unless there's further danger. Keep them warm, comfortable, and calm. Don't give them anything to drink. Question 31. What should you do if you're the first person to arrive at the scene of an incident? D. Warn other traffic to prevent further collisions. Warn other traffic of the incident without putting yourself or others at risk. Once the danger of further collisions is dealt with, call the emergency services. While you're waiting for them to arrive, keeping casualties or witnesses calm is important, but never offer a cigarette because of the risk of fire. Question 32. You arrive at the scene of an incident where a motorcyclist is lying in the middle of the road and unconscious. What's the first thing you should do? D. Warn other traffic. At the scene of an incident, the first priority is to prevent any further collisions by warning traffic. You can warn other traffic by switching on hazard warning lights or displaying an advance warning triangle, or by any other appropriate means. Question 33. Your steering suddenly becomes heavy to turn. What could make this happen? A. A fault with the power-assisted steering. If the steering becomes heavy, the power-assisted steering may have failed. It's also possible that your vehicle has a puncture or the load might have shifted. You should stop safely, investigate the cause and call for help if necessary. Question 34. How can you help to reduce the impact of road transport on the environment? B. By braking in good time. Good forward planning will reduce fuel consumption and engine emissions. This will cause less wear on the vehicle and its tires, as well as reducing environmental pollution. Question 35. What should you do to prevent fuel spillage? A. Close and secure the filler cap. Fuel spilled on the road is a serious danger to other road users, especially motorcyclists. To prevent this from happening, make sure the filler cap is secure after refueling.